top of the morning to ya. I'm Liam the Leprechaun, and I've got a wee secret to share. ZJZDesigns.com has just unveiled their brand new St. Patrick's Day apparel. Featuring yours truly, of course. From cheeky tees to lucky prints, these designs are brimming with charm and plenty of gold. Whether you're heading to a parade or just feeling the Irish spirit, you look grand in these threads. So what are you waiting for? Skip the rainbow and head straight to ZJZDesigns.com. You'll find the pot of gold in your cart. No magic required. ZJZDesigns.com, where style is always in season.
The All About Nothing podcast may have language and content
that isn't appropriate for some.
Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, Nothingers, to the All About Nothing podcast. This is episode number 296. I am Barrett Gruber, along with Zach King. Welcome, Zach. Good morning.
Howdy, Barrett.
How are you?
Making it. Children, illnesses, presidents, plagues, aliens.
Yeah, we'll get into all of that here in just a minute. Please subscribe and share the show. That's how we get new listeners. Also, please consider supporting the show financially by visiting theallaboutnothing.com and becoming an official member and proudly calling yourself a true Nothinger. I have more details on that at the end of the show. If you can't do that, please give us a 5-star review, a like, and follow us across all of social media. You can find links at theallaboutnothing.com. Want to remind everybody real quick, the Coastal Comic Con is coming up on March 7th and 8th in Wilmington, North Carolina. Tickets available at coastalcomiccon.com. Zach and I will not be there this year, which is unfortunate for anyone that would potentially be going, because we're a delight.
Well, any Chick-fil-A cows are going to take a deep breath that this guy's not going to mess with them the entire time.
That was one of the greatest highlights. And I wish that we had it planned out a little bit better last year, because I'd have had you or me with the camera, and I'd have carried a microphone just to harass the cow. Because ultimately the end goal is I want to get inside the costume of the Chick-fil-A cow.
If you would have grabbed his ass like a couple more times, it might have happened.
Was it a him? It was a him, wasn't it? Well, look, we all have regrets. All right. Also, want to thank Zolal Habibi for being on the show with us last week. Absolutely just incredible individual, and really glad that she was able to take the time to sit down and speak with Zach and I. Phenomenal human being, and the amount of...
She had a lot of info.
Oh, yeah. She's one of those... She was one of those interviews that I am always really happy to do, because she gives you so much information without... even sometimes being prompted. It was wonderful.
We had a nice script that you had made up, and then I got like one or two in there, and I'm like, she's answering that one. She's nailing every single one of them. You might think she may have done this before.
Oh yeah, no, she's a professional. She's very, very Googleable. You can find information on her everywhere. Really, I think that's and that's outstanding, because that means that the message is getting out there, and that the people of Iran are, looking to really restore, humanity over there. I think I saw a statistic that said anywhere between 6,000 and 32,000 people were killed during the last Iranian regime murder spree.
Yeah,
since December of this year, 6,000 to 32,000, and they're not completely sure where that where the median is on that. But I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah,
to just protest and have the leader of a country and a regime consider your life to be. Oh wait, we live in one of those now. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's all the business I can think of. I do, real quick, I know I said this recently on a kind of daily show, but my mother's birthday is yesterday, as of this airing, as of this publishing. So happy birthday to my mother. She is, I don't want to say how old she is, because I think she takes delight in the fact that her age does not reflect what she looks as though her age, or her,
she doesn't.
She, as active as she is. So happy birthday to my mother, Zanny.
Happy birthday, Zanny.
Do you want to sing to her?
The pictures are in the mail.
That's plenty. Okay. All right. I know we want to get started off with talking about aliens, but I have something else that I want to this week before we get started, really.
Kind of like
because I find
we wanted to talk about the Epstein files, but Trump wanted to talk about aliens.
Not yet. We're gonna jump into that here in just a second. This is something I'm excited about. I did not know that this was coming until really just this morning, so I wanted to share this.
Is it Project Hail Mary? No,
it isn't. And if it play, then it would be even better.
What happened, Washington? All those bullet holes in your jacket. How are you alive? I don't know.
You have no military service. You are a boy. You are not British, yet they send you to speak for them. So that when you fail, they'll have someone to blame.
Young Washington, you lost in the New World.
Who does own this land, if not the one who has the will to tame it? You do not want to start a war. What do? We fight! On the ground! There is no retreat!
What are you called? My name is George Washington.
Okay, and I get it. It's probably overdone and probably not really based on reality or whatever. But I'm excited.
I didn't see one cherry tree.
There was no cherry trees. He was swinging an axe and a hatchet at
and a stump.
A couple points during that. Yeah. Anyway,
what did young Washington do? He was in charge of chopping the stumps.
It seems like it's in the style of The Patriot. You know, Mel Gibson's The Patriot, which I can put The Patriot on anytime and watch the whole thing completely through. Like, I still love The Patriot. I love the extended version of The Patriot. It's fantastic. One of my favorites.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, there's that movie's so full of shit. It's kind of so full of shit.
I know. Yeah, so was The Patriot, you know. But I have a weird attachment to those period pieces. And yet I still can't get into like Bridgerton or you know.
Yeah. A lot less murder.
Yeah, there's not nearly enough Native Americans with rifles. Is what I think it's missing. All right,
there's a line in that trailer that had me. It's like whose land is it if not the one who has the ire to tame it or whatever.
Yeah,
it said.
yeah.
I was like, well,
yeah. Anyway, let's get into aliens.
It's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Let's get into aliens because I want to start off with what really kicked off this whole thing with the aliens. So here is as soon as it comes up, I'll play this. This is from Brian Tyler Cohen interviewing President Obama.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
It was
that was the same answer Bill Clinton gave.
Yeah. But then that of course spurred. Shit, I don't have it. Anyway, you know what? I let it go. Then that spurred Donald Trump on Air Force One. Reporter
it may have been
asked,
a little hot water saying that. I need to maybe I can help him out and release some stuff.
It's insane to me, his response, because he didn't really confirm. Obama didn't confirm anything. He didn't really give anything away. It didn't feel like it felt tongue in cheek. It didn't feel as though it was something that had any gravity to it. And a reporter asks Trump on Air Force One what he, disclose or whatever. And the response that Trump got was, well, he's giving away classified secrets. It's like he didn't give anything away. First of all, he didn't give anything away, and then he ordered what he announced the directives of the directives for the Secretary of War and other agencies to begin the process of releasing government files related to UFO UAPs. Previously, he stated he was skeptical of alien life, but acknowledged receiving briefings on UAP sightings.
Pete Hegseth, go get it, Pete. You got it, boss.
Oh yeah. Do you think Pete Hegseth gives him a salute even when it's just over the phone?
Probably. And I'm pretty sure when he said go find the aliens, Pete's literally like opening every door or kicking every door open at the Pentagon, going, "Aliens, come here!
Yeah,
not in here."
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. They'll go out to SR2 or whatever, Area 51.
Yeah. Well, so from 2009 to 2017, of course, Barack Obama was president. He confirmed the existence of recorded, unexplained aerial objects that defy easy explanation, saying in 2021 interview, "We can't explain how they move, their trajectory." He later confirmed he saw no direct evidence of extraterrestrial contact during his presidency. Bill Clinton revealed in 2014 that on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show that he had aides check Area 51 records and investigate the Roswell crash and determined if alien to determine if alien evidence existed. Ronald Reagan famously hinted at the possibility of a threat from the space to Mikhail Gorbachev at a 1985 summit, and once reported seeing a UFO while flying over California as governor. Jimmy Carter reported a personal sighting of a bright moving object in the sky in 1969 before becoming president, and promised to release all information on UFOs, though he later scaled back that promise. Gerald Ford, actually, as a congressman in 1966, demanded a congressional investigation into a series of UFO sightings in Michigan. And Harry Truman, of course, presided over the beginning of the modern UFO era, including the 1947 Roswell incident, which initiated intense public scrutiny over what the government was apparently keeping from us.
There's a lot of around Eisenhower. There's a lot of BS.
Yeah.
There's his daughter's out there saying that like Eisenhower was meeting with aliens on the regular, and all this stuff, and then that Eisenhower threatened to bring the military to Area 51 if they didn't let his advisors in. And I don't know if you've ever heard the story of Val Valiant Thor, which has been just debunked, but it does, if all this shit's happening around Eisenhower, it makes you kind of go, maybe something weird did happen. At least something weird. I don't know.
So there's also, and I'm imagine some people have heard it, I imagine some people haven't, but there is the story of Eisenhower who basically for a period of like 6 hours apparently went missing. And in that period of time, the way that the White House clarified or basically told people what happened is that he went under some sort of oral surgery in California or something like that. That he had oral surgery done, and that's why he was unaccounted for these number of hours. But what his daughter or his granddaughter, is his granddaughter? I can't remember. But one of his later relatives explains is that he went to Area 51 where he met with the leader of some sort of off-world extraterrestrial race, and that he made a deal with them that they would trade their technology to the world, or the United States specifically, in exchange for the possibility that they could continue to abduct people around the world to do tests and things on them. And it's I think that's the point at which it becomes like a weird story, because I can't imagine Eisenhower being like, yeah, we'll take your technology. You can abduct people. You can shove them with anal probes.
Go diddle the South.
Yeah. If you can keep it to these states, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, West Virginia, if you could just keep it to those states, that would be fantastic. But there's still a lot of unexplained weird things that go on around the world. I mean, I don't know that you can really you can explain away every one of these crop circles, because they're intricate. I mean, they are extremely complicated. I can't. The fact that in a lot of these cornfields and wheat fields that these whatever crop circles pop up, the shafts of the crop, the wheat or whatever, are bent and not broken, which unless it's like fresh or there's some other explainable. I've seen documentaries where they had people try and show, but like
with like the paddleboard thing.
Yeah, with the paddleboard. But like even when they did it, it wasn't the bends weren't interwoven and on some of these unexplainable ones.
Or like mathematically perfect, like golden ratio type stuff.
Yeah. So
it makes you go like, you don't want to be that credulous person, right? Like skepticism is the healthiest way to think in my book.
Of course.
But when it's right there in front of you, you got to go like, man, I actually spoke with my brother last weekend, and he just had a UFO like encounter at their house that he went and got his girlfriend and his neighbor. Like, he was like, I feel crazy. And you can tell that it has fundamentally shooken him to his core, like shook him to his core. And I'm just like, man, like when you see those kind of things that you're like, that's so unexplainable. That's not Starlink. That's not this. It's like, that is it dimensions? Is it aliens? Are they from outer space? Are they phasing through things? What is it? I don't know. Those UAPs, how do they move like that? I don't know. But you don't want to be that person who's like saddles on that tinfoil hat, because then you're one step away from 9/11 truthing things and stuff like that. And I don't know.
It's, I have only ever had that one experience that I called you on the phone about, where I had just dropped you off. I was driving home, and in what was a clear patch of there, where there were homes and they had cleared the trees for these homes and whatnot. And as I came up to it, something caught my eye, and it was, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 feet up in the air. And it looked like a silver Tic Tac. And I only got a glimpse of it for like microseconds as it flew past. And it was a mostly clear day, maybe some light clouds and very high up, but it just, I don't know. It just, it felt out of place. And I think that's what a lot of people have their experiences when they experience something like a UAP or UFO or whatever, that the only thing that they can really say about it is that it just feels out of place. That it doesn't feel like it's normal. It's and is it possible that my eyes were playing tricks on me? Sure. But the speed
I
at
could
which
tell
it
that
came
you felt
past,
like you genuinely had experienced something too.
Yeah. Like the sun was pretty high up above, and the way that it definitely created a shadow across the car. But as it was approaching, I saw the sun glare go across it, like from front to back. I can still see it in my mind. If I was an artist, I could draw it. But it was just out of place. It didn't feel normal. That's the only way I can really explain it. And
do you think, because you've been a loyal servant of Bashar, that it might have been him?
Bashar, the actual, or Bashar, the guy that's the telepath for Bashar? Because I assume he's got a UAP or something to fly around in at this point. He's so loyal, right? Like
he's the medium for him, right?
That's right.
And if you do not know who Bashar is, it's worth a Google.
TikTok absolutely.
Yeah.
And you get hooked into it. Yeah. Bashar still claims that 2027 is because if Kamala Harris had been elected president, then the period of time in which extraterrestrials, specifically Bashar and his race, were going to make themselves known to the people of Earth, that was supposed to happen in late 2024 or middle of 2025 and
Hold on, Barrett. Let me get this for him real quick. I'm moving that goalpost back here a little bit.
But because Trump was elected, apparently it moved back their schedule.
They don't want to go.
and they're now looking at late 2027 as far as I guess telling or bringing themselves to the forefront to the human race.
Oh God, I just Bashar's like, if it was Kamala, you guys, I would have would have been there.
Yeah,
but this asshole, we don't know.
Can you blame him though? I mean, like, if look.
Yeah, I can. We need your help, Bashar. Get your ass out here.
Yeah, but let's just say all of that is real, right?
Yeah.
Let's just assume that Bashar is real, that the guy that's channeling him is actually channeling him.
Then I'd be like, yeah, totally, bro.
Yeah, I have to admit, I completely understand why an alien race would not want to make themselves known to the human population with Donald Trump as president. Like, I can't even begin to imagine the significance of...
Was he gonna come to America?
I assume.
Okay.
They said
Putin's over there. Maybe that's why.
He made it sound as though what they were going to do was they were going to start by making themselves known to the larger coastal cities around the world. So you have to figure Los Angeles, New York, Miami, Baltimore, that sort of thing. And then they would start to make themselves known to interior cities like Beijing and Mumbai and Delhi, or Mumbai's on the coast, Delhi, so Atlanta. So like he gave a reason, and it was that they were going to make themselves seem as non-threatening as possible. I'd like to. I need that poster behind me that we used to have in the studio. I want to believe.
Yeah. I do. I know all the alien lore stuff like you do. I mean, they add on to that shit so much, but like it's more interesting than what's actually happening.
It's more like religion. Hopeful.
It was a lot more fun than what was going on.
It's so much more hopeful than what's actually going on.
That there's a big problem solver that could just come down and be like, this is the way.
This is the way. Yeah.
Well, apropos of that, my daughter watched E.T. for the first time the other night.
Oh, yeah?
And at first she's like, he's scary. We're not watching that, because all she saw was the poster for it or whatever, the advert. And I was like, E.T.'s a good guy. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
She was so hooked. She wanted to turn it right back on and watch it again. I think you forget how good of a movie E.T. is until like someone for the first time has to watch it.
Yeah.
It was very, I hope there's E.T.s out there. Maybe a little less turd looking. I don't know. Wrinkly, naked grandma looking.
Yeah. I'm not exactly certain what their, intellect is. I mean, they traveling interstellarly, I get. Or
big
across
fan of plants that eat
universe.
Yeah.
And all it's going to do is really just boost Reese's Pieces sales, right? Isn't that what he...
all he did after that was scream and run around fast for a guy with little stump feet.
I was going to say, what's the commercial effect of E.T.'s visit?
You can't leave him outside or he turns into white dog shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Eden's like, why is he sick? And I was like, didn't he get left outside? I'm not tracking this either. The whole part of going home was like, by midnight, like Cinderella, I turned to white dog shit. We have to figure out how to call phone home.
Yeah.
People were talking, by the way, they were talking about the Mandela effect, and people were like, E.T. doesn't say E.T. phone home. Yes, the fuck he does, because at first he goes, E.T. home phone. And then they're like, E.T. needs to phone home. And he's like, yeah, phone home. So they do say phone home. He says home phone first, and then they all start saying phone home, and then he says it.
So the deniers of or I guess the proponents of the Mandela effect think that E.T. never said phone home?
That he said home phone.
Okay. What is the Mandela effect then on I know the Monopoly guy never had a monocle.
Yeah.
Right? But there are people that believe that he did.
C-3PO has a silver leg, and people say that he didn't used to have a silver leg. That's one.
So he does have a silver leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's another one?
Nelson Mandela dying in the prison in the
prison
80s.
Rather than becoming president of South Africa.
Its namesake. The Berenstain Bears.
Are the Berenstain Bears?
They're the Berenstain.
Berenstain versus Berenstain. And then
the Doughboy having a belly button or not?
I don't think he does he?
What are they tickling?
Yeah, I thought they just poked him in the belly. But then there's what?
There's a ton.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and
it's just okay. So Shaq being a genie in a movie,
right? No, it was Sinbad.
Sinbad.
Yeah, Sinbad was Shazaam in a movie.
Well,
he wasn't.
I remember Sinbad movie where he's a genie, and then people were saying no, that didn't happen. So that had me going like, well, what the fuck? Was it just Shaq? The Shaq genie movie? He's Kazam.
Yes.
But then TikTok had shown, and this is before AI started going crazy. It was a legit. Some guys like, I have the tape right here, and like played it, and it was a Sinbad genie movie.
I gotta look it up. Sinbad genie movie. Sinbad was, let's see, the Sinbad genie movie, often referred to as Shazaam. I was right. Yeah. Widely shared false memory and a classic example of the Mandela effect, as no such movie ever existed. Despite numerous people claiming to have rented it on VHS in the 1990s, it has never been produced. So Sinbad didn't do Shazaam. It was, the confusion is over the 1996 Kazam movie starring Shaquille O'Neal. Sinbad is Shazaam.
1994.
Let's see. I've met Sinbad. Yeah, that's Sinbad. Like, come on.
It's not, and that's not AI or anything.
Why would somebody waste their money on creating that AI? Or just for fun, I guess, possibly.
I don't know. Now that I look at it, he looks old. Maybe he came back to do it to fuck with everybody. I don't know.
Well, I've met Sinbad. I met Sinbad. He was in Colombia. This was like 2002.
Notoriously clean comedian, which was always something my dad brought up. He didn't cuss and stuff.
Yeah. Well, he did a show here in Colombia, and then he went to the IHOP afterwards. And I went. I didn't know Sinbad was in town, but we were at Uncle Louie's and went to IHOP the same time Sinbad was there. And I have a picture somewhere of me sitting at the IHOP with Sinbad. But
he's like, I gotta catch a flight, Barrett. I'm going to go play a genie.
He was a cool dude. He was really cool guy. Still is. He's still alive. I don't know why I say it in the post. I don't get it.
What was there? Do you know what they think triggered the Mandela effect?
No. What was it?
The Large Hadron Collider at CERN.
Oh, that's right. I do remember hearing that.
Shooting electrons at each other.
Yeah.
I did hear
create a singularity potentially.
Right. And then it shifted us slightly into another.
I still blame the Chicago Cubs. I don't know. Have you heard my theory on the Cubs?
Yeah, they actually won it, so they shouldn't.
Yeah, the 2016 Cubs actually shifted us into a timeline that now has just deviated us completely from reality. And the only way back is that another Chicago team has to win a championship in order to fix the timeline.
Gone off the rails and gaining speed.
Yeah.
I heard a theory about electrons. You know how we only view what they do, their effects. We've never seen an electron.
Right.
There's a theory out there that there is only one electron, and you're catching it in different phases of time.
Okay.
And you can utilize it at that time. I don't remember every aspect of it, but I thought it was very interesting. Maybe Mr. Kimmler, if you're listening, look at that.
They'll get on that. That reminds me of the what is it? The one timeline, or the single time point, or the single point in time that all time is occurring at the exact same point.
Mm-hmm.
And that there isn't a linear timeline, that everything is occurring all at the same point. It's just our observational perspective is what we're experiencing.
Right.
But that gets into like string theory, and and I'm not nearly smart enough to understand that. People, I read something that there's some statistic of the population that believes that string theory is completely made up, and that it is it's only really part of the nomenclature because of the Big Bang Theory comedy, sitcom. That they just made that up.
Yeah, there's a lot of Michikakus whose life work is on like string theory.
Yeah,
it's all to help. String theory is trying to prove what happened before the Big Bang, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
almost everything ties into the string theory. If the theory somehow gets proven, then it explains, what actually occurred before the Big Bang Theory. It allows for the multi-Earth situation where, there's an infinite number of possibilities, and because of those infinite number of possibilities, that at this point in time there are infinite number of worlds that potentially exist where you are doing an infinite number of things at that point in time. Which,
and one of those, you're Batman.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
One of those, you're Donald Trump.
Exactly. You know what? Since you brought that up, we'll segue into Donald Trump. And
oh no,
I wanted to talk about the tariff situation, the Supreme Court's ruling that occurred on February 20th. That the Supreme Court ruled that President Donald Trump had exceeded his authority by imposing sweeping global tariffs under the 1977 National Emergency Law. So the case was who knew? Learning Cases Incorporated versus Trump and VOS Selections versus United States. The court struck down tariffs imposed by via the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, ruling that the law's power to regulate importation does not grant the president the unilateral authority to impose taxes or tariffs without clear congressional approval. So basically saying that under the IEPA, which is what Donald Trump keeps calling it, it's the International Emergency Economic Powers Act.
We actually just say the letters out loud. We don't make a word.
Yeah. So essentially that Donald Trump can't use that particular law. Now, is the administration going to go and find different laws that they can also use in order to do this? Fuck yeah, of course they are. So almost immediately, the president condemned the ruling as terrible and defective, lambasting the justices as fools and lapdogs. Lapdogs to who? Right?
That you appointed. If anyone's lapdog, like 4 of them are yours.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's all they do is you've heard him say, "We'll go test this law and see if they stop me."
Right.
That's all they'll do, and
they're constantly throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks.
Like his bathroom, it's sticking everywhere, Melania.
I guess it's ketchup. He's constantly throwing ketchup at the wall. Ketchup covered steak. That's what he's throwing at the wall. God. I'm constantly dumbfounded as to how little intelligence this particular president has. That he is absolutely one of the most incompetent human beings I think that we've ever seen. and that somehow he got elected because my theory is that stupid elects stupid.
Oh, he's a bully. He's confidently stupid. And that does work. Clearly it works.
Yeah. Within hours, Trump announced a new 10% across-the-board global tariff using Section 122 of the Trade Act of 1974, which he later increased to 15% on Saturday. This new authority is temporary and expires after 150 days unless it's extended by Congress. And I think we both know that Congress is not in any way, shape, or form going to extend this because they can't do fuck all.
No.
We have the most, as incompetent as Donald Trump is, we have the most incompetent Congress in charge right now.
Yeah.
We have Mike Johnson can't keep from stepping in front of a microphone and sounding stupid. Like
that guy's an anomaly too. What the fuck?
Yeah. I'm constantly in awe of.
Oh, I didn't say that. What is that? I didn't say that.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like, would Mike Johnson be a decent Speaker of the House if Donald Trump wasn't president? Curious. What do you think? No? Okay. I agree. I don't think that Mike Johnson would ever have been elected to the House of Representatives Speaker of the House position if Donald Trump wasn't president. I think they would have chosen, I think that the likelihood is that it probably would have been, they would have taken that opportunity to prove that they are not the misogynists that history proves them to be. I think they would have selected a woman so that they could then say that they also had a woman as Speaker of the House. I don't think it would have been Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think it would have been Lauren Boebert. I think that it would have been, I think the potential is it would have been that one from Alabama. I think she's from Alabama, but she's like 100 years old. I can't remember her name.
A lot of that.
Yeah, which doesn't matter. But
I think if you have a history of caring how much somebody else masturbates, you're disqualified from holding public office.
Dude, we lot of traction on that asking that episode that we did with the beard, where you asked if Mike Johnson. Do you think Mike Johnson ever asked Donald Trump if he'd join him and his adopted son on their jerk off app?
I can't reach it. These little hands around this big belly. I can't. No one touches it.
That's why his hands are purple, man.
What was it? A Daily Show was talking about. There's an email where Epstein is talking to someone about Trump, and he was like, "Yeah, ask my doorman how big of a dumbass he is."
Yeah.
Because he saw women in the pool and walked straight into a clear glass sliding door.
Yeah.
And then the Daily Show was like, yeah, what's funnier to me is that how little's his dick if his nose hit first. I was like, touche.
So the ruling could force the government.
Gets cartoon horny and runs into a door.
It could force the government to refund an estimated $130 billion to $175 billion in illegally collected revenue to thousands of importers. The Supreme Court did not provide a specific process for these refunds, leaving it to the lower courts. The ruling does not affect Section 232 tariffs on specific industries like steel and aluminum, which will remain in place. So the question is, those refunds would go to not necessarily us as the consumers, but potentially would go to the importers, the people that actually, like a Walmart. So Walmart could potentially receive a refund. Does Walmart then potentially pass that refund on to the people that shop there? Yeah, I agree. I don't think so either.
That's not how businesses work.
No, they're going to double up on their income, their revenue, because what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, well, people have already gotten used to paying, all the cost of what we were having to add up.
Yeah.
And they're just going to keep everything the same. The prices won't come down because it sounds like Donald Trump wants to make sure that there are tariffs still in place. Frustrating.
Yeah, that's it's permanently just changed the landscape of finance.
Yeah.
Now you have to earn more because they're not going to lower their prices. If there was one company out there, do you even imagine there being one that's like,
I do.
We're going to pass the savings on to you.
I do. I imagine that it would be Costco. I imagine that Costco would be the one company just because they're so progressive. I mean, they're literally opening up in California. They are They are building on top of a Costco a low income affordable housing apartment complex on top of their Costco in order to literally what did they say? What did they call it? Literally, they were verticalizing the savings is what they've done. And I shop at Costco, and you know,
if anything, they'll make the hot dog free.
You think they'll make the hot dog free?
It's
good hot dog. I don't like that they changed the buns. The buns. I'm not a big fan of the new buns.
I've never been to Costco.
No?
And here's the even bigger part. I am a Costco member.
Shut up. So hold on. You're a Costco member and you've never been to Costco?
No, we've just ordered online.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. But Zach, you got to go into the Costco one time. You got to.
I know. I'm. You know me. I love my hot dogs.
I'll meet you there. You can get a little cup of onions for your hot dog. I do onions.
No, just ketchup and mustard, homie.
Well, that's fine. But I do ketchup. I do mustard and onions. And you get your Coke Zero refillable or your Coke, your soda. They did switch over to Coke, by the way. So they're on Coca-Cola products now. Also, a quick update, which obviously isn't going to make any sense by the time the episode comes out. But Canada and the U.S. are tied 1-1 in the second quarter. So could be an interesting game. I didn't want to break away from the tariff discussion though.
It's not going to do anything to us. They're not going to even give that money back to those.
No
businesses.
No, and we are not going to see a relief in there's not going to be a cost adjustment. Let's say he's already trying to invoke a 15% tariff. That can only last 150 days. I think countries around the world, knowing that there's a limitation on how long the tariff can last and how long they can last with that 15% tariff across the board, I think most countries around the world are just going to wait it out. I think that they're just going to go, fuck it, we'll just wait. Because there's no way that the American Congress is ever going to come together to make this permanent, right?
No. And someone brought up a good point. This whole thing, this administration does not have as much power and is not able to do as much as people fear because you never get the resolution on when things are turned down on them, right?
Yeah.
This is Steve Bannon's whole playbook that he put in. It's basically bombard them by you trying shit, whether it's putting the Gestapo in a city while you're putting on tariffs, while you're releasing Epstein files, while you're releasing alien files, while all this shit going on. You're redesigning Air Force One, just whatever it is. You throw it where the news cycle catches it, makes you scared of it, and then moves on to the next crazy thing they're doing. Meanwhile, most of these things are getting shut down in court. So Donald Trump doesn't win in court ever, really.
Yeah.
But you never get followed up on by the media that he's just lost. So you just remember, oh, that crazy shit too. He is getting shut down in a lot of these areas. And someone made that point, and I was like, that's good because people need to make a conscious note to go find out what happened.
Yeah.
To genuinely remember whatever happened with this. Oh, Supreme Court shut him down, or these courts shut him down before he even got there. Trying to stop gay marriage. I mean, that got shut down, of course.
Right.
But it's throwing all this shit out there to keep you just busy, while Trump does do things like he created that group with, $40 billion of American taxpayer money that he is now the head of, lifetime head of. So when he dies, he gets to appoint that person.
Yeah.
And it also has, the heads of, Saudi Arabia and shit like that. It's basically the evil Justice League, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? What's the name of that
League
thing?
of Peace or whatever.
Yeah.
That's comprised mostly of terrorist states.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And Donald Trump. It's like,
yeah. And Donald Trump is the head. It's $1 billion to get in on it, lifetime membership for $1 billion. And, Donald Trump passes away. This organization, first of all, it's not a legitimate organization. If any of those countries actually paid $1 billion into it, which I'm guessing that they didn't, I'm guessing that it was somehow laundered through some sort of system that Donald or they're going to pay later. It's a charge on delivery. That's I think that's ultimately it. But I think you're right. I think ultimately everything Donald Trump does is an attempt to distract us again away from the Epstein files. Everything that has happened over the course of the last 13, 14 months has mostly just been an attempt to distract us from the Epstein files, which this week we saw the high-profile arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, who, of course, is formerly Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
He was arrested in the UK on February 19th on suspicion of misconduct in public office following revelations in the files. Police subsequently searched the Royal Lodge as part of the investigation. He was released, but there are rumors that he's potentially looking for a asylum to the United States from President Trump, that President Trump would give him asylum to shield him from any sort of repercussions of being involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, I don't know if those rumors are true,
right?
But the fact that it's even out there to me is insane. That our protective pedophile state, our country that is now going out of its way to protect pedophiles through the executive branch of our federal government, it is insane to me. Thomas Pritzker resigned as executive chairman of Hyatt Hotels this week. Catherine Rumler, top lawyer at Goldman Sachs, she stepped down. Brad Karp resigned as chair of the law firm Paul & Weiss. And Sultan Ahmed bin Salami, he resigned as CEO of logistics at DP World.
Like, hey, what was that? The guy who was noted for sharing torture videos?
He was the guy what do they call him? The spy sultan or something? Yeah. And he was the guy that actually got the deal done with President Trump for the United States to give basically DP World or Saudi Arabia these unbelievably powerful AI chips. And everyone, even Republicans, were frustrated by this because at the time, the belief is that he's just going to give these to China, and China's going to have that technology at their hands now. Like, they can break it down and build.
China already does. They don't need it.
Well, yeah, but like somebody said, yeah, but you act like he's a spy. He calls himself the spy sultan, right?
Yeah,
or the spy sheik
stuff.
Or whatever it is. Members of Congress began being able to be reviewing unredacted versions of the files back on 16th of February. Representative Ro Khan and Representative Tommy Massey have criticized the Department of Justice because they are still withholding about 2.5 million pages and have failed to properly redact victims' names in what is available. So there are, and also the Department of Justice requires at least 24 hours notice before representatives can go in there and look at one of 4 computers. Our library has more computers than the Department of Justice is providing to members of Congress to review the Epstein files, unredacted. As well, the Department of Justice, that 24 hours allows them to add their names to a software tracking that means that the Department of Justice is tracking congressional members that are reviewing those documents.
Yep.
It's insane. I mean, the whole thing is insane.
Pam Bondi's down there acting like she's just being insulted and that Trump's being insulted and the transparency. What a Nancy Mace levels of bullshit.
Twat.
Yeah. That's the nice word. I prefer the Australian version. By the way, did you see my text I sent you?
No. Did you send me a text? No, hold on.
I sent it to you last night.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So Nancy Mace is like polling to be the governor of South Carolina. She's out there, knocking on doors, which, God, please knock on my door because I would bring the camera out. It would be bad. But she's out there saying, this area of South Carolina is Trump country. Well, if you click on the comments, it's a bunch of people going, hell no, it's not. And I put, this is fucking disgusting. As soon as I did that, message was from Nancy Mace, like campaign, like automated ones.
Yeah.
And then it's going through all this shit and how she's just the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread. And at the end, it's like, how can Nancy help you? And I was like, I just responded, she can start by drinking a bottle of bleach.
Yeah. That was great.
I gotta hope someone fucking reads that. They hate you, Nancy. No one likes you. Like Lindsey Graham levels of fucking disdain.
Yeah, that was terrific. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I wanted to, let's see, because
I do have to
jump off.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling too great, but children as
All right.
it is.
Well, we'll wrap it up because the only other thing I was going to talk about was the final of the Olympics and how pleased I am that the Olympics are going to be over because my late night TV shows will be back. And I can sit. I can do the rowing machine while watching the monologues from late night television. That's what I appreciate. All right, Zach, thank you very much for being here. That's going to do it for episode number 296. We are 4 away from 300. Links to all of our past episodes, podcast platforms, merchandise, and social media are available on our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. And if you think our financial model of giving away free content and entertainment is silly and you're in the giving mood, why not become an official Nothinger and support the show? Members get early access to this episode as well as exclusive content. Visit members.theallaboutnothing.com to find links, or you can find links on our webpage. You can also give a one-time donation through the same link. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can call and leave us a message, 803-672-0533, or email theshow@theallaboutnothing.com. Join our Discord server as well. Links found on our webpage. Thanks for listening, everybody. You all stay safe, be kind, and
keep your hands to yourself.
There it is.
The All About Nothing podcast is a product of Big Media and produced and engineered by me, Barrett Gruber. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow Everything Cake, the band, at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff, the producer, for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the Producer. You can follow me across social media by visiting Linktree/Barrett Gruber. And you can follow Zach King on Linktree/AANZach. Want to support the show? Visit our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com, and become a member. There are several tiers available that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. To find links to our social media, podcast platforms, and merchandise to support the show, as well as past episodes, visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can email theshow@theallaboutnothing.com, or you can call our number and leave a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our sister shows. What the Pod Was That with Carrie, Zach, and myself. Welcome to Wonderland with Ami. Politically Speaking with Erica, Kirsten, and Emily. And Black, White, and Blue in the South with Dr. Jameel Brooks and Bill Kimmler. Please subscribe and share this show. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe and punch that notification bell. Thank you for listening, and hear us next week. The preceding podcast is solely owned by the host or hosts and is distributed by Big Media, LLC. Copyright 2026.